Good evening all, here we are again, back in Virtual Pool 4 online. We've got 5 minutes to go. We've got two matches tonight. We've got one at the top of the hour between Biggs and Eloquente. And Eloquente arrived in the lobby a little while back, and as far as I know was in practicing. I might be wrong by that name, by the way. Is it Biggs in the first match? Let's have a look. We'll just double check here in a second. We've got quite a few things to clarify here on the bracket. Let's go down to the bottom because this is where the action is tonight. Well, the disappointment from last night was the fact that Tony Sam, I sent him a message on Facebook. He eventually did get it, but that was like 10 minutes after he'd already been forfeited. And his excuse was he forgot the game was on. That's how sort of scatterbrained he is. And it isn't the first time he's done that. It's Eloquente and Supernoob that's on in a few minutes. And then at 8 o'clock, so obviously we're going to have a crossover between these two matches, an overlap. We've got Biggs against Shooters Pool Pro, but let's go from the top and work our way down because we've got time set here. Good evening, Hazard. We've got a round 2 match has been set between Jose McEwen and Bill, and that's at 10 PM I think on Saturday night, which is no good to me. I'll be in bed. I'm up for work at 4:30 Sunday morning, so I won't be there for that one. And then we've got matches tomorrow, and we've got 2 that clash at round about 4 or 5 PM. I'm trying to think of what they are. We've got MC McClarkey against Sky Bitter at 5 PM tomorrow night. I'll have that one. And then we keep going down. We've then got another crop of matches I think tomorrow. We've got, well, the main one would be 8:15 tomorrow night, which is between Cobra and Wanwa or Fan Fan. And as we work our way further down, we've got, well, the match that starts before the Cobra match is at 7 o'clock. Tornado Tam and Stubb have arranged their match, so we'll have that one. And Tornado Tam, even though he doesn't really play 9-ball, I'm expecting him to give Stubb a better match than poor old Quagmire gave him. So that's the main one we'll be watching. I would expect both players to turn up for that. There shouldn't be any issue there. And then we'll keep an eye on what's happening in a Cobra match. And as we keep going down, yeah, we've got the match. This match starts at 4 PM in the afternoon. Then we've got one at 5 PM in the afternoon tomorrow. So you've got Sergaresh against Shaft Tracks. And then at 7 PM you've got Zwiley against Miasma. So there's a whole heap of matches tomorrow, and they're going to be crossing over one another. And then we've got these 2 matches tonight. So the first one up, which should be getting underway, is the one between Biggs and who the hell did I say? Because I've been saying so many names, everything just goes straight in one ear and out the other ear. I'm not even listening to what I'm saying. It's Eloquente and Supernoob. And Supernoob was in a minute ago as well. He was in away mode, as a matter of fact. There he is. And Eloquente was in a room practicing. I don't see him in a room now, although he's in the chat, so we should be good to go. We had a result earlier on today. Quagmire on the 1-loss side. He did play better, I have to say. He played a bit more consistently. Still far too many misses, but he was far better than Casino Jim at the end of the day. So Quagmire moves on through the 1-loss side. Meanwhile, the room is up. We're going to get in. McCloth's at the right colour, and both players are ready to lag off. And well, the one nearest us has won it. Now let's hope we're in sync here. I've got a funny feeling we might not necessarily be in sync after having joined the room there. We'll soon see. Anyway, according to my screen, Eloquente has won the lag and is breaking. And this is the winner's side match, of course. Round 1 match, race to 19. And Supernoob with an 1800 odd handy rating. And Eloquente 2000, just over 2000, so there's nothing between them. And there's the first fluke of the night, in goes the 9. And yeah, that's that little delay there's got me wondering. I'm going to now. I noticed also one thing I noticed earlier on today when I watched the rerun, the start of the Casino Gym Quagmire match. I noticed we had that break in the audio again, and then it seems to recover. So I don't know whether we're getting the same thing tonight. You can let me know if we are. But I've got a notion to leave this room and come back in it, just in case, just a wee sec. Let's see if we can get back in. And we've got Smiley and Miasma are underway as well. And let's see if we can get back into this match. Where the hell is it? There it is. Right, we're in. I think Wit's got a picture to show you semi-pro. He can post a link in the... in fact, he did post a link in the lobby chat. Let me see if we can find it. Hang on. And I'll let you see it. Oh no, I can't. I think I've... Did I leave the lobby and come back? I can't remember. Oh, I can't find it. I'll get him to post it in the lobby. If you're watching, post it in the lobby because I can't find the damn thing. And we'll let Semi-Pro see his picture that you done. So anyway, Supernoob. Now, was it Eloquente that I thought won the first rack? So I can't remember now either, because I might have been, what do you call it? No, but you'll see it if I click on it in the lobby. If you're watching the stream, you will see it. I thought Eloquente fluked the first rack there and got that 9 ball. I might be wrong. Anyway, having left the room and come back in, Supernoob won the first rack. I doubt he must be in a room. He must be busy. He must not be watching the stream. Oh, it was Supernoob that fluked it. Right, well. He's now 2-0 up. Let's have a look where these players are supposed to be from. We've got started. According to this, he's from the USA. So a lot of matches tomorrow afternoon and evening, and matches that clash as well. So I'm going to have to work out how to get something to eat again. Well, I've got quite a few things to do tomorrow. I've got a short shift tomorrow, and when I get home, I have to go and pay some bills, and I'll need to also do a shop. So Eloquente, ball in hand, and how good is he or she going to be in taking this out? Okay, so far, bit straight in the 6, very straight in the 6. Can actually pinch a little angle here with a bit of top and right. Yeah, you can actually just push it into the right side of the bag, and a little bit of spinning go over to the right hand side as we look. Or you can do a really firm stun, but you've got to make a slight angle to get the effect of the stun to work off the rail, so there's not much there to go by. I still think if you pinch a slight angle, put a bit of top and right on it, you'll get the cue ball out. He's putting bottom on this, looks as if it's the big draw. Yeah, that wasn't the way to go about it. Especially now he's ended up behind the 8 ball. Not the way I would have done it. There was enough there to pinch a tiny bit of angle and get the cue ball just to come off that rail and out to about there. There would have been enough there to do it. And having missed the kick and having had a golden opportunity to get on the board, Eloquente's thrown it away with the wrong choice of shot. This is way inside, so blind pocket shot. Now you've got to be careful with this one. Cue ball is running, but it's okay. Missed the middle pocket and it's 3-0. I've got it on. I put the camera back to the default 40 again. So again, you guys can let me know whether this is good, bad, or ugly. I normally put it to 30 when I'm streaming, just to bring the table a wee bit closer. So it's now on the default setting, and meanwhile, ribs broke off, potted the 3. He's going to scratch the cue ball, and it was deja vu here. Eloquente is going to have ball in hand and a chance to get a rack in the board. And this is where players who very often their lower rating does give you a clue to the level that they generally play to. He's gone straight away there for a combo in the 9, didn't get it set properly, never took time, and of course the end result is he's going to get nothing. But the major problem for most players is the ability to pick their way through these balls. All of these level players are eventually going to fall by the wayside, and it's going to be the more competent players who are going to go through. That's a given. It doesn't matter how good a night one of these players has, but none of them are going to be threatening anything in the tournament, because they're playing to a level that's lower than the required qualities that you need to be competitive deep into the tournament. There's another slam bang, thank you ma'am, and in goes the 9, and it's now 4-0. Eight ball won't go in, so the break is dry. Far too much banging going on. Too much banging, not a lot of thinking, is what I see. Well, this time that Shooters Pool Pro match is kicking off again. That's well late into the night, Japan time. That's well into Friday morning. Just a small gap there. Either way, this is the safest route. He's got a slight angle. He's managed to hold it. Getting another thump and bang at a shot. Far too much of it going on. Well, I suppose you can bang the balls all night if you want, if Eloquente isn't going to eventually pinch a rack or two. I mean, here's a good opportunity here. He's the wrong side of the 5. Just managed to square across to still hold for the 6. Wide open table for the 7. And if it bounces up, it should be reasonable enough. The middle pocket. Cue ball is going to hit the 9 by the look of it, unless he does something silly with the pace here. And exactly, I mean, that's it. All you do is roll it in. You know, you just roll the ball in. You're going to be on the 8 ball. It's hanging over the pocket, and this is what annoys me about players, where they're just not actually thinking of what's needed. And all you had to do was roll the ball in. You're on the 8. You don't have to move the cue ball to any particular place in the table, and you're just gifting racks to your opponent. I must sound like a broken record, and I can't understand for the life of me why players don't. They seem to fail. It just fails to click in their head what they're doing. So Supernoobs broke off, 5-0 up, and ball in hand. Well, I think this is the second or third time. Certainly the second time for Eloquente. Trying to, I think, drop in between the 2 and the 4. But with ball in hand, when you can't pot a ball with ball in hand, you're definitely going to struggle. It could be an embarrassing score. Well, I suppose Eloquente's first goal is to get more than 2 racks. So the 2 ball, the jump escape, 2 ball's not going anywhere, but the cue ball follows through and billiards the 4 in. And the 2 ball is now around the angles in the middle of the table and on into the middle pocket. See, Supernoob slows down and sets up the shot a bit more when the shot is there, but when it isn't, it's just a bang that you get. And another free go here for Eloquente to get on the board, but you always, I mean, when the more you look at this poor chap, the more you doubt whether he'll get a rack. Again, he'll probably end up getting a gift of a 9 ball hanging over a pocket, but there is plenty of room in the table just to get that cue ball in the middle of the table. And we all know where you want the cue ball here, over that right middle pocket, and this is going to go below. And it's not set as a bank either, it can be cut. And the cue ball is safe, and finally Eloquente's off the mark. Seems a weird name for somebody from Germany to have. It sounds more like, you know, like Spanish or Italian. Well, 9 balls going in the break. I think we've had a few 9 balls here already, we know it. 2, 1 or 2. Well, that's certainly one and maybe another one. But it's more than welcome for Eloquente, and that's a dead rack because that's 4 balls haven't hit a rail. So, ball in hand for Supernoob. Now, is that 1-9 on? No, it isn't. And I don't know what he tried there. Well, we've had a couple like that where the the balls just seem to die. They don't get movement. They've been hit nice and firm, but they don't get movement. And then of course it's a foul break because you know, only the cue ball and another ball hits the rail, and it just seems strange. I've just got a theory that the further left you go, the deader the breaks become. But anyway, scratch again for Supernoob, ball in hand again for Eloquente, but no chance of running out here. But might have an opportunity to, well, I don't even dare mention a safety shot. But these balls are clustered down the bottom of the table here. Some nice little hiding places here. Now you can just brush that 4, skim past it, tuck it in behind the 8. Well, what he doesn't want you to do is do this and slam it and try and kick it. He wants to just skim off it. Just brush it behind the 8. And he's had a proper slam trying to create miracles out of nothing. And all he's done is open everything up for his opponent. And there's another, well, a kick on the 4 ball, but the 9 ball was lying in the target line, and in it went. And it's 6 racks to 2. And that all came about from Eloquente smacking all the balls open. See how you end up getting punished for the silly things you do. Had he just skimmed that ball and tucked it in behind the 8, that was never going to happen. And Eloquente trying to follow up Supernoob by giving the 1 a bang onto the 9. Well, there's definitely a lot to learn. Maybe too much in some respects. And then goes the 1. Kicks the 9 up the table. Thin cut in the 2. 3 ball up over the top left corner. Oh yeah, I haven't been near them. Have not been near them. And I have to say, even though, I mean, I'm on my day off, my second day off today, so over these 2 days off, I haven't had a notion to have one. I will now that you've mentioned it, but I haven't had any thoughts to have one. Oh, there's the first yawn of the night. Oh, that's me definitely done with them now, yep. I haven't went as long as this. That 8 ball might go in as well. Still hanging there. Well, Eloquente might have another chance here. Cue ball stays up. The 5 ball, is there enough of it showing? Yes, there is. And well, we need to remember that 8 ball still hanging over the corner pocket up there. But how is Eloquente going to get to this top end of the table? And these are matches that are difficult to they're difficult to add a commentary to them, because a lot of the time not only does the player not know what he's doing, but I don't know. I can't try and get inside their heads. See, when they end up doing stuff like that and then scratching, you're better just to sit and watch it and let them get on with it. But Eloquente has a chance to get his third rack on the board. And he's going to have to maybe use that jaw up there and run round the rail slightly if he can. Let's have a closer look at this, because you've got to be careful you don't miss the ball completely, as can be done very easily. Well, it is when you're watching guys that generally don't follow the set pattern to get to another ball, then you generally, you just generally don't have a clue what they're trying to do, because they end up banging a ball. I mean, when a guy has ball in hand and he can't pot the ball when he's got ball in hand, you're definitely going to be struggling to try and get inside their head in terms of what they're thinking of doing. It's so difficult. I mean, that the example of that was that ball that was up there earlier on in one of the earlier racks, where it was very straight and we wanted the cue ball over here. Now, if that was anybody else, any of the experienced guys, they would have pinched the angle, sent it into the right side of the pocket and got that cue ball across. Whereas Eloquente, I think it was, went for the big draw. Went for the big draw and ended up down here behind the 8 ball. And now the flukes are going in left, right and centre. We've seen umpteen flukes in this match already. And Eloquente had no idea where he's going there. He's ended up on the 3. 4 balls hiding behind the 9. So let's just see what happens. I think that's pretty good. Or is it? Is it tight? Or can he get onto the 4? No, he can't. Well, this just needs potted pocket weight. A nice little kiss in the 6 would do nice, and that is nice. Now get back out into the table. 6 into the same pocket. This is going too well. This already. And now the big test, trying to pot the 7 and leave a shot in the 9, which he has done, albeit it's a bit more of a cut. But this for rack number 4 on the board, if he can get it. And in it goes. Well, maybe Eloquente's going to settle down a wee bit and start putting second thoughts into Supernoob's mind. The lead is down to 2. Good evening, Mark. And good evening to everybody else who may have joined. And I haven't had the spate of subscriptions that I was hoping to get from the Twitch viewers who are subscribed on Twitch but may not be subscribed on my YouTube channel. I think I've had 1 in the last 2 days. Good evening to Rotor Monkey. Did I tell you what I had the other day? I did tell you, I think I had to go in when I came home from work a couple of days ago. I had to go in and get my my 6-pack. Well, it's a double 2 6-packs of water. There's another combo in 9 going in, and it's 7-4. And while I was in, I decided to get one of those Aunt Bessie's apple crumbles. Oh, you know, it's obviously meant to serve like 4 people. And I got two 150ml little tubs of double cream, and 50 minutes in the oven. The apple crumble was ready the other day, and I sat and I ate that and I felt like a pig, and it was bloody delicious. I ate about half of the apple crumble with the first tub of double cream on it, and then I thought, am I going to be able to finish this without any more double cream? And I made my mind up I wasn't, so I lobbed the other tub on it. Oh, what a treat that was. What a treat that was. I enjoyed it. All sorts of calories in it, but it was bloody delicious. Good evening. Good evening to Jorset Espino. That's another name I've never seen before. So welcome to any newcomers. Any other flavours? What do you mean? There isn't any other flavours of apple crumble that I know of. I'm talking about traditional standard apple crumble. Oh no. Oh no, I hate rhubarb. I remember when I was a kid, you know, back in the day, I mean, my mum used to grow rhubarb in the back garden, and for some reason it seemed to be the trend up our way to give you a stalk of rhubarb with a little tub of sugar to dip it in. Really healthy. And I think I tried it about once, and that was once was enough. Yeah, steer well clear of that. There, the billiard and the 7-ball for Supernoob. We've had billiards, combos, flukes, umpteen combos in the 9-ball. We've had 9-ball in the break. Scratches, you name it, we've had it. And Supernoob with a 3-rack lead. No shot in the 6. Probably a bang here and try for another combo. Oh no, I don't like rhubarb. No. It is not one of my favourites, but apple. You know, I'll tell you something else, Mark. You've been in Tesco before. Have you seen the? You know what I seriously thought about getting, and I stood and I had it in my hand in the freezers the other day, and down below was the apple crumble, the apple crumble pie, the Aunt Bessie one, but up above, on the shelves above, I had it in my hand, and I was convincing myself I would eat it no problem, because I knew I would eat the apple crumble no problem. I had the big long apple strudel in my hand. if this thing is like 1.5 foot long apple strudel, and I thought, oh, I could seriously give that some damage, and I bottled out of it. I went for the full apple crumble, but I would have had either. You know, that apple strudel with a little cinnamon flavour in it. Oh, you cannot beat it. There's a 9 ball again in the break. Well, this match has certainly thrown up the golden breaks. We've had a basket load of them so far, and somebody's going to jump to the top of the 9 ball in the break league here in this match. Not that that's going to count for anything, but it'll be worth having a little look at it at the end of the match. So, but the one thing it does mean is that Eloquente's back to within 2. Oh, there's nothing like the unhealthiest food as long as you enjoy it. That's my theory. Yeah, the jam roly-poly, yeah. Ever since, what's his name, Harry Redknapp gave it a plug, I bet you it's been selling bucket loads since he was on I'm a Celebrity, and that's what, 2 years ago now. Yeah, Spotted Dick as well. I'm quite partial to some of that. And also bread and butter pudding. Oh dear. Bread and butter pudding. Oh, I wish I hadn't started talking about desserts, because I could just eat one of them right now. Cue ball, no, it's going to be okay. Well, it's going to stay in the table, that is. It's still a foul. And ball in hand for Supernoob. What's he going to have a slam at here? We're going to try the bank on the 9. And there it goes. No hanging about. Pop, bang, in it goes. And it's 8-6. Oh yeah, these things, you know, these things are loaded with, they're loaded with calories, but what's the main thing about them? They're bloody delicious. That's all that matters. I mean, I haven't had, I mean, you talk about, I mean, the reason I thought the other day when I was in getting my sort of little shop, because I was also getting some of that tandoori chicken that Ted do as well, and it's lovely, just for a nibble. And I haven't had an apple crumble. I haven't had any pudding for a long time. So I thought that is what I'm for the other day, and I got it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, lemon meringue pie. Yeah. Banoffee pie. Oh, look at this 4 ball sitting there, right next to the 9. And here's a big billiard onto the 4 and the 9 here. And then goes the 9 again. I'll tell you something, it's happening fast here if you blink. But it's 9-6 now to Supernoob. 4 ball goes in. Lemon meringue pie, banoffee pie, apple crumble, apple strudel. They would certainly be well up in my top 10 lists. Spotted Dick. Oh. I don't think that's that popular up here. I think you find it difficult to get that up here. Eating mess. Oh no, I'd sooner pay for those services rather than spending time making something like that. It's the same as getting my hair cut. Why make a proper arse of it when you can pay somebody to do it right? Yeah, you're going to have to explain what eat and mess is, Mark, to the foreigners amongst us. I've heard of plum duff, I've never had it. Well, Eloquente trailing by 3 again, but a chance to get another one on the board. Now, see, when you describe it like that, Mark, to anybody else, then it won't sound as bad to them by telling them that it's called eating mess. I have to say, I don't like strawberries. You know, I actually hate the smell of strawberries. I would never touch a strawberry. Don't like the texture of them. Never eaten them. I think I would have bite of one at one time and that was it. I'm definitely not a strawberry person. Well, here's another gift. Or another gift of a chance for Eloquente to narrow the gap. Well, here's a thing for you, Mark. Have you ever heard of clooty dumpling? You need to Google that one. That's exactly what it is. A clooty dumpling. It's a dumpling that is steamed in a cloth. You know, it's wrapped up tight in a cloth and it's steamed. Beautiful. Just get on to Google and Google clooty dumpling. Yeah, a bit like that. A bit like that. That's beautiful. Well, Eloquente is beginning to drift away again here. Got back to within 2, I think twice. Hazard, we're talking about puddings here, we're not talking about breakfast. Stay on the subject. You've got to stay in the subject. And the cue ball has scratched. So the gap is now 4. What time is it? We've got 20 minutes before this, well, this proposed next match is due to start between Biggs and Shooters Pool Pro. And there's another player that needs to remap his replay button. Well, I've been playing, I played a whole afternoon today of that Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and if you remember the other night there I was talking about raping and pillaging. Well, there's no raping, but we've been doing a lot of pillaging. I did lots of that today. We formed an alliance. I can't remember what her name is. And we may well in the not too distant future be heading down to London. We're now building our camp. We've been raiding monasteries and robbing them and building up a cash fund and also resources to build up the different components in our camp. No, I didn't, because it was going too slow, but it's now picking up. And we've been doing a lot of I've been doing a fair bit of upgrading today as well. But it's like it's the same as the other ones. When you go to, if you go to certain camps and places that you shouldn't be going to, according to the storyline, you end up going to somewhere where it's far too difficult because you've not built up enough strength. I found that out earlier on this afternoon. But I've got about 2 or 3 different quests that are in the pipeline that I could do one after the other. But I think I've still got another couple of camps or monasteries to raid, because I've still got 3 or 4 other things to build up in my camp. I'm at level 2 in my camp. I can't remember the name of the place. I thought it began with an R. Anyway, I won't get much of that done tomorrow, I don't think, because of all the matches it's on. And you ken what I like about it even better, that game. I didn't buy it. It's a fell off the lorry version, because it would have cost 50 quid or something off Ubisoft. Well, here's another bank on the 9, and Eloquente's got it. I don't know, this match has had goodness knows how many combos in the 9. I lost count of 9 balls in the break. We had at least 3 or 4 of them, or maybe it seems like it. But we have definitely had a whole barrel load of combos in the 9, or flukes in the 9. Good evening, Mooncake. Well, I'm going to have a quick, if I can get this tab to work. Where the hell is it? Right. Well, there's Biggs. He's already in the lobby. And these are all players that are in rooms. I don't think Shooters Pool Pro's here. Oh, there he is. There we are, we found him, so he's in getting practice. So that's good news, that both players are in. Not really. It's been a bang fest for most of it, this match. A bang fest, a combo fest, a 9 ball on the break fest, a scratch fest. But not an awful lot of strategy fest. No sooner have I said scratch fest, there's another one to get into the book. And a ball in hand combo 4 and a 9 again. It's unbelievable. And Eloquente back to within 3 now. I don't think Eloquente's ever going to get back in level terms here. He's going to get the odd 1 or 2, and then Supernoob's going to get another one. Just keep that distance. That's all he'll be worried about. Also a reminder to you guys, tomorrow, I don't know how many's already signed up, but there are people signed up again to Friday Night 9 Ball, and Tin's excuse is he can't change anything, which is partly his fault because he didn't do it when he was asked to do it last week, and if he had done, there wouldn't have been a problem. He cannot change the start time of the tournament. So it will be starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, British summer time, and he'll probably mess about and keep messing about, and it won't get changed at all. It'll just stay the way it has done. So the only way that he can change it is if nobody signs up for it until later on in the week, and that gives him time to get it changed. And that way I can do a bit more streaming on it. But if it stays at 8 o'clock, I'm not doing any of them because it goes on way too late, and then I have to quit before the final. Oh, Bedhead's arrived. Good evening. Well, I've ran through the amount of matches that are on tomorrow. I suppose one of the main matches on tomorrow is Tornado Tam against Stubb tomorrow night. There's a few matches over the next couple of days. I think there's also a one lost side match arranged as well. We had one earlier on, the one between Casino Jim and Quagmire. Quagmire won out fairly comfortably in the end. That's the ideal pace to play a bank at, that bank there in the 6, because that's enough pace for it to go down and back up the table if you miss it in the first pocket, and it's not bang so hard that if it hits the pocket it's just going to rattle and stay out. The one thing I've noticed is Supernoob sort of steadies the ship once he's in and you know, knows exactly where he's going, but there's far too much banging going on though in between. Well, you've got to go for it though. In goes the 8, in goes the 2. Reverse bank on the 1 coming up. And that's going in again, the pace kept it there. Oh, I forgot that other match was started. Aye, let's have a look at the bracket and see what the score is. Have a quick look while they're messing about there. And Wiley's got a comfortable lead. Miasma must be distracted because he's more interested in the stream than he is in actually catching up. He's trailing by 6. Yeah, I'd get the stream off and get focusing here. So this is a match that's going to start in 10 minutes time between Biggs and Shooters Pool Pro, and we've got all these other matches on the bracket tomorrow. 1 at 4 PM, well 2 at 4 PM, Sergres Shaft Tracks. We've got Tornado Tam and Stubb at 7 PM tomorrow night, second round match. We've got the other first round match, the one with Cobra and Wanwa or Fan at 8:15 tomorrow night. We've got the other one at 5 o'clock tomorrow, that's MC McClarkey against Sky Bitter. And well, there's one that's just appeared, that's another one that's appeared for Saturday night between Albinario and Bankster, because Jose and Bill have got their set on Saturday night at 10 PM. So we'll have that match on Saturday night as well. And back to this match, Eloquente with a roll in the 9 to get to 9. One ball going in, cutting the 2, and the cue ball, if it misses the traffic, it should be up onto the 3. Well, that's going to go very narrow. It's going to end up dead. Well, that was another one that needed a bit of spin on it to get it around angles and over to the left hand side of the 3. I don't think, well, I think the angle's there to give that a kick, just next to the 7, and just missed the point. Well, that was unlucky. Didn't have much room to manoeuvre there to make that, but I think it was possible to kick it in. So Supernoob maintains this 3-rack lead and looking to stretch it again. Well, that might be a mess now that the 8 and 9's locked up. Well, he's going to have to push that 8 ball away. He's going to have to push that 8 ball that way to make the cut on the 9. So he's going to have to go inside the 8. Yeah, didn't get it right. And now Eloquente is going to have to make a bank here. This isn't set. Need to watch the cue ball. Well, the gap has gone to 4. Supernoob gets a 3 ball in the break. Push out has been called. Big miscue there. I don't know what miracles that Eloquente was trying to do with the cue ball. So, ball in hand for Supernoob. Just going to have to kill it stone dead there to try and get the cut in this too. I think there's enough there. Maybe not. Well, this is going to be a blast. A blast to get things moving towards that 7 and 6 ball. And in goes the 6. Two 5 combo to continue. And that's going to scratch because there's no way it ever needed to be played at that pace. Now this 10 ball weekly Scotch doubles alert thing coming up in the chat there. I mean, it's the top one says 15 minutes and then just below it says, oh, mind you, that's right enough. I'm just looking at the timestamps here. Oh, it is right enough. It is. It's 10 minutes. I thought that I'd pop one after the other. Well, just one of the many misses from Eloquente that's going to cost him racks at the wrong time now. Supernoob beginning to stretch away. Well, it's now a 5 rack lead, and 5 racks required for Supernoob. Cue ball has scratched, so ball in hand and a chance to put Supernoob in trouble here for Eloquente, although I doubt very much whether there's any thought of that going to happen. I see, who was it was playing, was it Mongolia? And they beat them 14-0 in the World Cup qualifying. I mean, these poor Mongolian players, most of them are probably wrestlers. And that's one thing about Mongolia, there's certainly plenty of flat area to build football pitches in that country. It's a wild and lonely place. Right, so we are about 1 minute away from the second match tonight between Biggs and Shooters Pool Pro. Well, not a bad first pot. It's just a question of whether you can follow that up with 2 or 3 more. Again, just going through too heavy, wrong side of the 6. Got top right on it. Cue ball. Well, the pace actually took the running off it, but the spin took it in the right direction anyway. And again, you only need to pot the 7 and just leave a sight on the 8. And this needs a lot of drag and bottom on it just to kill the pace and spin in behind the 9 and take the 9 into the same pocket. That'll do. Well, there's nothing wrong with those shots. And it's going to get Eloquente to double figures. And the 3 ball gets kicked in by the 8, the 6 ball hanging. And we've lost the 5 as well. Right, let's go to the bracket and have a catch up on what's happening here. We've got this match that we're watching. We've got the match above there with Swiley, who is 13 racks to 6 up against Miasma. 14-10 in this match. And Biggs and Shooters Pool Pro, well, their room should have gone up. So we'll just leave this room and we'll join this room for the start of this match. We'll keep an eye on how this other one's doing. Now, I'm assuming that Biggs is still there, because he was earlier on. There he is there. He's sitting in the chat. And again, he'll be getting that audible alert to let him know the room's up. So he's got the 10 minutes to get in. Now, for anybody who was around in Virtual Pool 3 a long while ago, Biggs used to be Big E. That was his name. Good evening, Potman. Well, we're all set for the second match. Well, this will be good if both players were in the lobby at the start of the match. But oh, here we go, and we might be out of sync again here. The way that queue was jumping about. The other match isn't over. We're just moving over to this one. Eloquente and who the hell was it? I've forgotten already. I've forgotten who's played in the other match. Oh dear. Supernoob had a 4-rack lead when we left it at 14-10 or there or thereabouts. Miasma's also well behind against Sylvia. That match is still going on. So we've got Biggs at the table, and that was a very narrow line, very narrow potting line for that 2-ball into the middle. So this is one of the few first round matches still left to get played. And Shooters Pool Pro, big ask here to get onto the 4-ball. He's going to end up just hooked. Yeah, it won't be long before those other 2 matches are over. Just another 10-15 minutes you'd expect them to be done, and Shooters Pool Pro's missed the hit in the 4. So these are the type of chances, when you get them, you have to get the job done. And straight away, he should never have been near that 8-ball. He may well still have the combo, but he should never have been near it. When that first match we were watching finishes, we'll go and have a look at the stats to see where either player is on the list of the 9-ball and the break stats, because one of them is going to be quite high up, I would imagine, from what we've seen. Or maybe I was just imagining it a bit more than there was, but there seemed to be a fair few of them. Meanwhile, Biggs has got the first rack on the board. 7-ball is tracking nicely. And something else has gone as well. I think the 1-ball's gone. The 1 and the 7. Thin cut in the 2. Yeah, it will, I would assume. Well, here's a all out for the pot or a punch round the table for the safety. That's just, well, everything about that was the right idea. Had it hit that 8 ball maybe more full, it would have taken the pace off it. This will still cut, but it's really thin. That's a good shot. Well, you see, you'd be no use as a co-commentator, semi-pro, if you walked out the commentary box halfway through a match because you were bored. That's not professional. That's just no good as an assistant commentator. Well, we're all square, one rack all. Shooter's Pool Pro. Lots of movement in the balls, but none in a hole. Let's have a quick look at the bracket. Eloquente still on 10, and Supernoob now on 16. And further up the board, we have Zwiley, who's 15-7 in front. So another 10-15 minutes, barring accidents, should be over. Yeah, see, even Biggs is suspicious. Biggs is suspicious as to the quality of this player on 18-15 as a rating. And Yama's let the cat out of the bag. But Biggs is doing okay so far here. Well, it is Yama. Where were you, Slim? Where were you, Slim, when Yama told us it was Yama? He's got two profiles. And Biggs into the lead. Cue ball. Thought about going. The 2 and the 8 in the meantime have gone. Very thin cut in the 1. And now this is crying out for a good safety here, this 3 ball. And that wasn't the shot, I'm afraid. Got to tuck that cue ball away there when you had that opportunity. And now Biggs has got a full ball snooker to deal with. And I think the angle might be there just to get to it. Almost got the cut. And unfortunately, he's going to scratch. So, any of you latecomers, we've had a look at the bracket earlier on, but we've got quite a lot of matches, not only tonight, that are up and running. This will be my last match tonight, this one, but we've got matches tomorrow, We've got Bill having arranged his match with Jose on Saturday night at 10 PM British summertime. I won't be there for that. We've got Cobra's match with Wanwa or Fan tomorrow night at 8:15. I'll be there for that one. We've got 2 matches in the afternoon tomorrow. And there's other matches as well over the next day or two. So if you don't get a chance to see some of them, then if I get them, they'll be up on my YouTube channel. Well, I was talking about desserts earlier on. I forgot to mention I got a phone call earlier on this afternoon as well. My next door neighbour said we bought a steak pie, but there's too much for the 2 of us. Do you want a steak pie dinner and potatoes and veg at round about 4 o'clock? I said yes, I do, and that has duly been dispatched at 4 PM this afternoon. Lovely steak pie, boiled potatoes, a little side helping of peas. Lovely. So we're 2 racks all and a long way to go to 19. But Shooters Pool Pro misses the one. Oh, and on the contrary, Slim, this is like some of the rougher parts of Los Angeles we're talking about where I stay. Well, Biggs only needs to draw this back an inch or 2, and he's overcooked it. Although he's plenty of room to get in a 6, no immediate problem. And as long as Biggs keeps taking his opportunities, he'll stay in touch here. But he's got to complete racks like this one, especially from this position. And that is actually probably as good as you could play it. Now there's the result through, and Miasma's bottled it. I hope you're listening, Miasma. You should have went all the way instead of chickening out. You don't get any respect from me not going all the way. Mind you, Zwiley's just as bad at that. Disappearing before the end of the match. You play to the bitter end, and you play till you're well and truly and arithmetically beaten. You don't bottle it and not see it through. So Biggs in the lead, and well, Shooters Pool Pro's got a problem. We'll see where that is. 6 and 7 are going nowhere, and the 5 is in a very narrow gap. Now, is he going to try and find that gap and give it a bang if he can get on the 5? Because that's probably the only way he's going to get this 6 and 7 out. It's just not going to get there. He's going to have to kick. But played it at such a pace, he's now left at reverse bank. And Biggs with no chance of getting on the 7 and 6, so it's probably worthwhile having a cut off the left side of the 5 and running the cue ball over behind the 7 and 6. That's what I'd be more inclined to do. Because now that Shooters Pool Pro's got ball in hand, he can leave the angle to break the 6 and 7. No, he hasn't got ball in hand. Why did I think he had ball in hand there? Oh, double kiss. Now he's going to have to jack the cue ball, the cue up if he's going to try and get some dig into this to make a hit on these two and pot the 5. And the result through, well, Eloquente fell out the game just at the time that we left it, or just before that. Supernoob has come through with a fairly comfortable win, 19 racks to 11. So this is our last match of the night. Oh, that's what I was going to do now that that's finished, and while Shooters Pool Pro is looking very likely that he's going to square the match, we'll have a look at that stat now. Let's have a look at the stat. Right. We go into 9-ball stats. Money balls made. Right, hang on a minute just to move that chat thing out of the way. Move that out of the way for the moment. Right, so see there, Eloquente got 2, and it seemed like there was a lot more. So he had 2 in that match, but that's all he's ever going to get, because that's oh no, it's not. That was a winner's side, wasn't it? So he's going to move over to the one loss side and get some more chances of doing that. So the leaderboard is 2 on that one. I don't think there'll be many changes to the racks run on that match. No, there's no change there at all. That remains the same. Larry's still at the top, and 3 players chasing him from there. Just remember that Mr. Fox has already had 2 matches and he's still only in 7. Stubbs had 1 match and he's in 7. And he should probably, more than likely, go to the top of that leaderboard tomorrow night when he plays Tornado Tam at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. He'll definitely jump to the top of the leaderboard until Larry plays his next match. So I'll just move my chat back across. Right, so it's now 3 racks all, and Shooters Pool has the best opportunity now to take the lead, I think. Well, certainly now that we've played a few racks, to take the lead for the first time really in the match. With 1 all, 2 all, 2-1. That might be too much of an angle on that 7. Yeah. Or maybe not, now that you look at it. If he just rolls it in gentle, I think he can still hold it for the 8. He's just gone a wee bit too far. Going to have to check this a bit just to square it back across the table. No, he's deciding to try and just hold it. Played it well enough. And now has the lead. Four ball going in. Oh no, wiped at his feet at the last minute and knows the jaw there. And of course we've now got the 3 and 5 locked up in the side rail, so that's a good place to be getting a good safety in and locking somebody up in that 3 ball. I seen the other day there that Coming to America 2 is either coming out or it's out in the States. That just shows you how much Eddie Murphy's film careers went down the pan. I mean, I seen the first one and I thought it was quite a good laugh, that film, Coming to America, but you know you've hit the skids when, like 15 or nearly maybe 20 years after you've made the first one, you make the follow-up one, because they don't know what they're going to do with your film career after you've had so much crap in between. Oh, have you seen it? I don't know how long it's been out, but I just saw I think I saw it, I don't know whether I saw it in an ad break or something. Like a promo for it. I mean, most of his best work was done in the Shrek films, and since he did Beverly Hills Cop, but he's made a tremendous amount of crap since then. What is it? The Nutty Professor. Well, Shooters Pool Pro is going to open up the gap, and another player who has a very good chance of getting onto that top 10 leaderboard. Well, you mean the worst film done since his last worst film? Godzilla versus King Kong. I think the Japs must have made a film. The Japanese must have made that in the 60s with the guy in the rubber Godzilla suit. Well, Biggs misses the kick, ball in hand for Shooters Pool Pro, and should be running out here. I watched a bit of the I don't know whether that was the first episode or the second episode of Top Gear. I think, was it the first episode where they were driving their dad's car, or the main car that their dad used to have, and I was watching. I just watched bits and pieces of it on iPlayer, and I eventually see each episode, but I don't sit and watch the complete episode. I usually watch it when I'm maybe having a coffee or something. And I was watching it last night when it was when they had gone to the go-kart track, and they had to get a lap time sitting in each other's lap, like they were sitting in their dad's lap. That was funny. It's funny them trying to climb into the car and sit in each other's lap doing the race, doing the lap of the go-kart track. Well, Shooters Pool Pro has got the 5 racks to 3 lead, but it is all down to Biggs staying in touch and whatever chances he's given, making the most of them and cutting out the errors to a minimum. You'll make mistakes, but you don't want to be gifting racks to your opponent. It doesn't matter who you're playing and when you're playing and what game it is. You just don't want to be the main cause of your own downfall. Yeah, the obvious reason for that is they weren't allowed to go anywhere else. Yeah, and that's why we've not got any you know, big spectacular ones, you know, running across Siberia or whatever. And it'll probably be a long while before they do that as well. I mean, there's France just went into their third lockdown, and the way the English are going on at the moment, I'm afraid, England will be heading the same place. I mean, you've got them all out partying at the parks. I've seen a photograph of all the litter that was left at their arses. You couldn't even tidy up litter in that whatever park it was, and they're all partying and all sorts of crap going on. Mind you, it's to be back to winter over the weekend, so there won't be much partying going on in the parks then. But it won't be long until the third lockdown comes, once those figures start shooting up again. What the hell has happened here? What the hell's going on? Has he hit the wrong button there? I bet he's not paid attention. Is he still there? Right, well, there we go, guys. That'll be the last time I watch bigs in a big tournament, and it's all over. And that's ruined whatever chance that Shooters Pool Pro had of getting on the leaderboard. But well, that's just a way to spoil a night, isn't it? Well, that makes no difference at all in the racks run. No change from where it was last night. So all that remains now is to go back and have a look at the bracket, and I just remind myself as well as others what's happening. We've got 2 matches on Saturday night. That's the one thing to cover. The first one is between Jose and Bill. That's going to be 10 PM British Summer Time. If you want to watch that, get yourself in the lobby. There won't be a stream of it because I won't be there. And then 2 hours before that, we've got the match between Albinario and Bankster. That's one of the last first round matches. And that's for Saturday night. Tomorrow afternoon at 5 PM, we've got McClarkey or MC Clarkey. Is there? I'll have a look at that in a minute. That's at 5 PM tomorrow. And then further down as we go, we have Cobra to play Fan or Wanwa at 8:15 tomorrow night. But before that one at 7 PM tomorrow night, we've got Stubb against Tornado Tam at 7 o'clock. And there's another match I thought clashed at, that's an hour earlier tomorrow, between Sergresh and Shaft Track. So that's at 4 o'clock. We've got one further up there between MC Clarkey and whoever it was at 5 PM. So this one at 4, one at 5. and then we've got the 2 matches at night. What matches go on the one loss side? Oh, there we go, Mr. Strokeham and the Great Guru. Now that's at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. And we've got Lanabold against Marvin 96. And it's 7-1 to Lanabold. Well, I don't think there's going to be much to be watching in that. Let's have a quick look in. Well, Marvin's sitting there, a 2,100 player, and he's 7 racks to 1 down. Well, he's going to have to get his finger out because it's only a race to 13 in the 1 loss side. Yeah, I don't know what mindset Biggs has. Clearly not on what he should have been doing, and that is focusing on the game rather than focusing on a number. Yeah, lost all respect for that. I thought he was doing okay, as a matter of fact. I thought he was doing fine. Okay, he was behind, but all he had to do, and the match had a hell of a long way to go. If you keep your head on your shoulders and focus on what you're doing and take those chances, it's easy enough to get yourself back into the match. I mean, he just did not give that match any time whatsoever. And I don't care who he plays in the 1 loss side. If he does play, I won't be streaming it. That's straight off my list for any matches. Probably the last tournament he plays in as well. No, Mal hasn't arranged his match. That'll probably end up in a forfeit. It'll probably end up in a forfeit, although he has said that he has sent messages, proposals to this, whoever it is he plays, and he was, I think that's why he was PMing me the other night, because he was concerned that he was going to get forfeited. So there will be a forfeit, but it won't be him. Well, if it doesn't matter who you play. There are ways to beat people if you use a strategy. There are ways to try and control the quality of play of the other player by stopping them playing. You know, it's not just simple potting ability. Well, this is going to be interesting where the 9 ball is. The 5 ball's now a partial blocker of the pocket there. But no, Biggs just he needed what he needed is somebody to tell him how well he was actually doing before he then decides just to pull the plug. Why just decide to bottle it? That just gets no respect from me whatsoever. Not an iota of respect, let alone the fact that completely disrespects your opponent by not having the stomach and the fight to actually play. The race to 19's a long race, and that match had only basically just started, and he was what, a couple of racks down, and didn't have the fight, didn't have the stomach for the fight. Well, they attempted combo the 9, but the 5 ball was always going to stop it. Well, this has just got to be a gentle little feather to knock the 5 in and leave the 9 there for the combo. Well, he's had a bang at it and it has gone in. That could have went funny. But he's back to 7-3. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Marvin has had an awful lot of bad luck this is what interests me about watching these players that are 2,100. He's either had a lot of bad luck, Lannibald's had a lot of luck, or the truth of the matter is that Marvin is just has got a bit of a penchant for doing well in challenge rooms and getting a 2,100 rating, not playing in a lot of tournaments and been given that rating as his standard rating for 9-ball for this tournament. So it could be fake in that sense. But we'll find that out. I don't understand it either, here, Pig. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, he came in and told us it was him. I had a sneaking suspicion it was him. But, I mean, I played in that... listen, you see what happened last night at 11 o'clock at night? I played in that Cowboy in the 10-footer tournament last night. We had Woody in the lobby. That was the name, Woody. And I looked at the sign-ups and it had Woody Old. Woody _old in the tournament. There was only 5 of us in the tournament. Woody Old got forfeited because he was playing Woody, and Woody got forwarded to the final, and I had to win, and I had to wait an hour for the first round match to finish before I could play my match, and then I ended up playing Woody in the final. And the story was that Woody has 2 accounts as well. One of them is Woody Old, that he said when he logs in in the internal browser, he gets logged in as Woody Old. So that's a bit of bullshit and jiggery pokery going on there. And you've got far too many people here with double accounts that are supposed to be in breach of the code of conduct, and Celeris are doing nothing about it. And we had that. You go and look at that Cowboy tournament last night, and you've got 2 Woodies signed up for it. So that's physically 2 players signing up with separate accounts, and they're the one player. It's ridiculous. Yeah, well, why did you bottle out as well, Miasma? You're just as bad. You're just as bad as bloody Biggs, and not going through with it. If you're going to play in a tournament, the last thing you do is quit. I don't care what your excuse is. If you've gone to the bother of paying your virtual dollars to enter the thing, then you see it through to the bitter end, no matter how humiliating it's going to be for you, if that's what you think. There's no humiliating in the fact that you're getting beat by a better player. It's a disrespect to your opponent, the fact that you end up quitting. Well, it ended up in a forfeit, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a quit. I don't care what it says in black and white. It says forfeit on the screen to me, and that's a quit. I never forfeit, I repeat. My internet left me. Alright, so you get disconnected for more than 10 minutes. Well, I take that back then if that's what happened. But the business with what Big's done, and also the fact that you know what he said at the end of it, just because it was a guy who says in the, I mean, he even said in the room that he was Yama. Right, so he's told Biggs that he's Yama, and if anything, see that Biggs let himself get beat in the head. by the fact that suddenly he's been, you know, he's had suspicions because this guy's playing reasonably well that he's somebody else in a different profile, and then Yama goes and says that he's Yama, assuming he is Yama, and suddenly that's annoyed Biggs even more. On some respects, that's where I do have sympathy for him. Because these people are playing in here with with 2 accounts, and Zwiley's at it as well. You've got her account as Sylvia, which she's had for a while, and now suddenly the Zwiley ones come back out of the woodwork. These accounts should all be shut down. And if Celeris are going to back up their code of conduct, as far as that goes, then they should be dealing with it. Yes, Zwiley's Sylvia, and has been for umpteen years. Right, let's go to the support pages and let's read it in bloody black and white, so that you all know. Where the hell is it again? Wait a minute till I find it. Code of conduct. Right. Players may not complain or criticise online policies. Bullshit to that. You don't complain. You're supposed to send them a message and complain. Right. Let's players. Blah 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 blah. Players should avoid this, that, and the next thing. Right, there you go. Players may only have 1 account and 1 player name. Violation results in account revocation. Now, to me, that's in plain black and white. Right? If it's okay, therefore, to have 2 accounts, as long as you're paying for them, then it should say that there, but it doesn't. So you have to a lawyer would rip that to shreds. Players may only have 1 account and 1 player name, and the violation results in the account revocation. Well, I want to see that happening, and it's time it did start happening. And if it's the fact that you just pay a bit more money and have 2 accounts, then everybody's going to be at it. So sellers want to start talking, walking the walk rather than talking the talk. They start, or whatever the hell you say it is. They want to start doing something about it. In fact, Zwiley said she's got a lot more than 2 accounts, as a matter of fact. So I think that's bullshit for a start. Anyway, it's now 9-3 to Lanabold. Yeah, what he said wasn't nice. But that's a major sign of weakness. Well, there's no conspiracy theory about it. I mean, it's in black and white on the terms and conditions there, and there are people flouting that rule. And he's not looking into it, he's not doing anything about it, he's not revoking accounts. There might be an awful lot more that if he was going to revoke, we'd only end up with 30 in the lobby. Well, I've got one account from testing, but I can't remember what the login is, and I can't remember what name I had, whether it was the same one. In fact, I did a test one where I copied the text. I think I actually saved my profile name that I had in GameSpy at one time, when I used to swap backward and forward from the 2 of them for a laugh in GameSpy. and I saved it somewhere. I can't find it anymore, but I think I set that in Virtual Pool 4 testing, and I think I only used it one day to test something else, and then I've never been in since. It's never been used in what, 7 years. Well, there's not two accounts playing in the tournament. That's not like that snooker guy was. He had more than one account and he had signed up for the tournament about 3 times. Where's these guys from? Where's Marvin from? He's from the UK. And Lanabold from Slovenia. You see how that stays up on the screen sometimes too long? See, then it's doing it again. Well, reverse bank in the 7 on the cards. Well, good pace, but well, Marvelous Marvin, as I'm going to call him, has to get this rack on the board. He's running out of racks rather rapidly here. That needs to keep going. That should have been as square as he could probably get it onto that 8 ball, and now he's going to have to take evasive action here with this cue ball. Is that going to get there? Oh, it's another one of these testy ones, but vital for Marvin's cause, and it goes. Still a long way back with not many racks to spare. But Marvin not getting a break in the balls. No ball in the break. Reverse bank in the 1. Once again here. This time for Lanabold. And that's not going to go either. Well, it should be fertilised a bit more since Stubb went in and bullshitted him the other night there. Well, I'm surprised you haven't been on that Valheim with Polemint as long as you can get him when he's sober. Which I have to say will be a rarity. Well, Marvin, there is space to get down here on this 3 ball, gap between the 6 and 7, and over to the left hand side. Plenty of room to get there. All about the pace. Ooh, he's got others to play with. Well, he's played the big draw, and Hairpig gets a commentator's curse there. He calls a scratch. If he just let that run with a wee bit of check, he would have been well away from the middle pocket. And Marvin, I'm afraid, in these present circumstances, cannot afford any errors. Well, Hannibal needs to get a good line here. What, you missed Biggs quitting? You missed Biggs bottling out and running like a big girl. That needed to stun a bit more. But what Marvin needs is, he needs another go at this 8 ball if he can get it. If Hannibal doesn't get it in, going to cannon into the 9. Nobody knows where the 9's going, but he's played it perfectly. The pace was good, controlled pace, knows that the 9 was going to the rail, and played the right shot. And it's now 10-4. And there you go, LS3 signed up for the $300 or V daily edition handicap tournament. Hannibal gets a ball and a break. 5 ball has gone. And I think Marvin will be gone in the not too distant future, because he needs something almighty to happen in order to get himself back into this match and to stay in the tournament. And a good safety. And nothing but the old hit and hope. And that might not be too bad. And One Pocket Slim has signed up for the $300 V daily edition. Is Steve in the lobby? Is he in away mode? That's maybe something, if you're still listening, Miasma, that's something you can find out the next time you speak to Steve. Find out how he's going to fulfil this code of conduct as regards multiple accounts. Is he going to adjust it and amend it that you can have as many bought and paid for accounts as you want, as long as you don't sign up for multiple entries into a tournament? He's going to have to change his wording on that code of conduct, because at the moment he's letting anybody have as many accounts as they want and doing nothing about it. And if he wants evidence of it, he goes and looks at that cowboy tournament last night. He'll see it there. Well, it doesn't matter in terms of the finance side to you or I, but it does to him. Because if, you know, it's somebody buying, you know, one account and buying another account, and it's more money to Celerus. But it's not in, it's in breach of what he's got written, and because he's making more money out of it, he's doing nothing about it. And it leaves it open to abuse. It leaves it open to a guy having 2 accounts last night and signing up to the same tournament with the 2 separate accounts and giving me bullshit saying it's because he logs in the external browser and the internal browser. You've still got to physically sign up for a tournament. So he signed up for the tournament twice last night and got himself forfeited. And Brian was there in the tournament, Redback. He sat and watched it. And there was a bug last night. When Woody Old was forfeited, he was forfeited every 2 or 3 minutes. It kept popping up in the lobby, and he got himself through to the final by forfeiting his other account. Now that's blatant cheating in my book. Is anything going to be done about it? I doubt it very much. But get Steve to go and look at that cowboy on the 10-footer last night, and then he'll see it. I think it may well be him. Yeah. Yeah, the cowboy in the 10-footer last night. Go and look at how the bracket went, and you'll see that he got forfeited, and he jumped straight through to the final with his other account. It's got nothing to do with bad blood because I was half asleep and he beat me in the final. It's got nothing to do with that. It's the fact I had to wait a bloody hour before I played the first match I played, but that's what happened. You've got one person in the lobby last night by the name of Woody, and then when I looked at the bracket, I saw Woody Old was signed up as well as Woody, and I thought there's something strange going on here. Am I still in the lobby chat? I am. Didn't realise it. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting and raving. Marvin's got it back to 5. And Lannebold is 3 away. 3 away from staying in the tournament, because this is a 1-loss side match. You know the one thing you can guarantee, I mean, the thing is how many people here have got multiple accounts, but all the other accounts they've got are all gratis? He would probably jump in them like a ton of bricks, because they've got multiple accounts, and in theory then they're breaking the code of conduct, because he's not getting any money into his wallet at the end of the day. He probably then would take action. And there probably is a few players who drop by in here on gratis accounts. But as I say, if you're going to have rules and regulations and codes of conduct, then you want to bloody well start backing them up, rather than just sitting back and letting things go. Well, Marvin has let that go, because he's done everything but knock the 9 in, and it's a gift for Lannebold, who will just be 2 away. Well, sooner or later these things, eventually, they find their way out one way or another. Well, that is some euphemism you've come out with there, Semi-Pro. It sounds like something a German porn star would say, standing in the sidelines, looking at what's going over in the bed over in the corner. Well, I'd just like to remind you, Miasma, this channel is not for children. But it's also not for posting porn links, so don't you be starting with that carry on again. Thank you very much. Well, Lannibal's made a mistake. What's Marvin got left in the tank? And this is just a soft roll into the middle for the 3 ball. Just let the cue ball do its natural path. So it's all about just judging the pace. Well, he's hit it with enough to get back into the table. That will do. And if the daily edition, when the hell does it start? 9:05 or something? Seems like a weird time it's been set to in the calendar. When did that alert come up? Aye, 9 o'clock it is. So it's no, wait a minute. That was 20:59 and 9 seconds. And that's saying it needs players. It must be 9:10 it starts or something. I haven't a clue how that works. So Marvin, 1 ball away from getting 1 rack back, but well, let's just say it's not a Mount Everest he's got to climb. It's maybe a Kilimanjaro. It's still an awful long way back. But to do that, he needs to get balls in the break and he needs to get a shot, and he's got the first part of that has happened. And if he comes around the corner, he'll be unlucky not to have a shot in the 2 if he pots this 1. That's good enough. Well, I don't know what the hell type of control that he's working with here, but he's overhit that by quite a margin. Has he still got a pot on though? Yes, he has. Excellent. Oh, he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth. I thought he'd gone way too far, but he actually just left enough to get the pot. What a bonus that was. I need to just slow down a bit. That is ideal. And anything but stuck to the rail here. And now, what does he do? Let's have a look. Just kill it. Just kill it. Don't let it run loose or you'll lose it. So this, to get another one back. And that was well done. And that'll certainly give him one rack run. I don't know. I don't know, because links don't work in this chat. You'd need to post that in the lobby for me to see that. See if that'll work. Aye, there it is. Right, so I think I got a buy in the first round last night. And incidentally, just to remind you guys, Redback was 93-90 up when I came to the table, and I ran out the 11 to win that match. I just thought I'd mention that again. Aye, right, so Woody was playing Woody in the first round, and then Woody got disqualified, so Woody went straight through to the bloody final. That's what happened. And his excuse to me was, when I log in on the internal browser, it logs me in this profile, which is a load of bullshit. Because if it logs you in on an external browser under a certain profile, first of all, it's only ever going to do that for a certain period of time, because you have to log in properly again into VP4 every now and again. It's a load of crap. It's blatant cheating, is what it is in my book. That's what that is. Let's go back to the bracket. Get that bracket up. You can describe it however you want. You can come up with every excuse. You should never have two accounts in the one tournament. End of. Right, where have we actually got to here? Have we still got a match on here? Yes, we do, because Marvin is only 3 behind now. I presume Lannibal can see the two. He's trying to get cover. Well, this is perfect to get distance here for Marvin, unless he wants to go all out for the reverse bank. But he's going to have a slim chance of getting on the 3. So this is where you take your medicine, get this nice and thin, and try and get that cue ball right down towards the 3 and 7. He needs to avoid the scratch. I don't think he has. Commentator's curse. That needed a wee bit of spin. Just a wee tiny feather of left to take it to the rail sooner and avoid the scratch. That's what that needed. Well, that's a good shot by Lannibald, and this will hurt Marvin big time if Lannibald can take this one out from that scratch by Marvin. Yeah, I want to see at least Celeris backing up their own terms and conditions in their code of conduct. That's what I want to see them doing. Why have one? Why have a PG-13 lobby and all of that crap when you're not prepared to stand by your own rules and regulations and follow them through? That's what you should be doing. Well, this will see whether Lannibald's nerve can hold within touching distance of surviving in the tournament. Yeah, the cheating's not going on in here, Steve. It's going on in that other bloody match. Go and get that sorted out. Or that tournament last night. Sort out one of your admins, if he still is. Oh, I think he's going to be perfect. That's a perfect angle for Lannable to pinch this rack, but he's, that's what doing the right thing's all about. Giving that chance with ball in hand and being able to back yourself and get it done. There's nothing better than hurting your opponent when they're on a bit of a comeback, couple of racks in a row. They make the scratch, they don't get the safety right, and you come in and you run the table. That is the most painful blow of all in a match. Oh, we're talking about these cheats. That's what we're talking about. Right, so Lannable just one away. Marvin has suffered pretty much a fatal blow there. He's still 4 behind. Could have been 2 behind. And he's got to keep everything very tight. But if he's making his mind up to go for it, it's all or nothing. He's going to have to probably jump out of this. Yeah. Yeah, it was about 5 or 6-3 to Shooters Pool Pro, and Biggs wasn't playing badly at all. I mean, very, very easy to get back into the match. The match had a long way to go, and he had it in his head once, as soon as Shooters Pool Pro. The first thing he said is he was too good a player to be the rating he was in the tournament. And then Shooters Pool Pro came out with the name Yama, and as soon as he done that made his blood boil, and he quit. He hadn't the stomach for the fight. He's a coward. He's every adjective you want to use. Totally disrespect players like that. Listen, I've still never forgiven Ronnie O'Sullivan for walking out on Stephen Hendry, and you ken how long ago that was. First, I mean, a professional snooker player quitting middle of the match and walking out. Oh, but that's the biggest sign of weakness of all. As soon as you know somebody's annoyed about something when you're playing them, then you know that's you got right inside their head. It's a bit like what if you saw The Godfather, when Marlon Brando pulls over what's the name of his main son, his first son, the one that gets shot and killed. What do you call him? Played by what's his face? Marlon Brando pulls him over when they're at the meet. When they're at meet with the guys that want to set up a drugs deal, and he opens his mouth and Marlon Brando pulls him over at the end and says, "You never let the other families know what you're thinking about." Well, this is what you do in pool or billiards or anything. You never let the other guy know what you're thinking. But anyway, with all that going on, Lannable has gone through 13 racks to 8. And there's an example there where a guy who's 2087 and a guy who was 2037, very little in it. But it turned out there's a 5 rack difference at the end of the day, and ratings mean nothing. Not if you get your head screwed on, they don't. Right, so that will definitely be our last match of the night. And it's final reminder time. We've got matches on tomorrow. Who does Biggs go through to play? Well, Biggs goes through to play SD92, but I can guarantee he won't ever appear in any of my streams again. That's his one and only chance for fame. And now he's just going to be famous as a numpty. And then we've got, well, it's basically people having more than one account. But I had an incident last night in the Cowboy tournament where we had one player with 2 accounts in the same bloody tournament, and got forfeited, which could only have been done by what do you call it? A tournament director. Now that would either have been Redback or Redback. It couldn't have been anybody else, unless Woody come in under his admin profile and he is a tournament director. I don't know whether he is, but he got forfeited and it got his second profile through to the final. Right, so tomorrow we've got Sergaresh and Shaft Tracks at 4 PM. We've got Stubb and Tornado Tam at 7 PM. We've got Cobra and Wanwa or Fan Fan at 8:15 PM tomorrow night. And I think earlier on as well at 5 PM we have McClarkey, MC Clarkey against Skybitter. So we've got that one, and there's also Albinario and Bankster. That is at 8 PM on Saturday night. And we've got Bill against Jose at 10 PM Saturday night. So I'll be there for the Albinario one, I won't be there for the Bill one. And that is it, folks. It is bedtime. And well, I'm glad that's over, aren't you? It could have been a lot better, but some folks don't have the stomach for the fight. So anyway, with that, guys, I'll bid you good night. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and if you can't join us for the matches tomorrow, then join us on YouTube. You can watch the reruns of them, and I'll see